Welcome back to Objective 4 in Chapter 13 of our 3A1 series. This will be a very quick objective, and all we've got to do here is define steel and explain the compositions and characteristics of low carbon, medium carbon and high carbon steels. So first of all, let's start off with a definition. We know from what we've spoken about previously that pig iron that's produced in a blast furnace has a carbon content of around about 4%. And we've said that the higher the carbon content, the more hard a metal is and also the more brittle it becomes. Then we said that cast irons have a carbon content anywhere from 2 to 4% carbon. Well, now, if we keep this trend going, a steel can be simply defined as an iron that has less than 2% carbon. So is steel iron? The answer to that is yes, but it's iron with a particular carbon content, and this is less than 2%. Now, the beauty that we can do with steels is that we don't just have to have plain carbon steels, we can also add other elements into the mix here and create things called steel alloys. And we'll talk about those and the types of elements that we add in the next objective, Objective 5. But the benefit really of having the ability to alloy steels is that we can have bespoke steels created for a tailored or a custom use for an end use of a project or a client's request. So what are the carbon steels that we need to talk about? Well, plain carbon steels can be subdivided really into three main categories. This is low carbon, medium carbon and high carbon steels. Now please be aware that carbon steels, or I should say plain carbon steels, even though we say steel has less than 2% carbon, virtually all the ones we see are going to be less than even 1%. Now you can get steels up to 2%, but you generally don't see these. We generally see low, medium and high carbons. Now unfortunately, we need to memorize the percentages of the carbon content in each of the low, medium and high carbon steels. The good news is you should have already memorized these percentages back in 4th class, as they're common questions that pop up at 4th, 3rd and even 2nd. So, our low carbon steel has a carbon content anywhere from 0.05 to 0.3%. And please be aware, low carbon steel is often referred to as mild steel. The next category is medium carbon, and this starts where low carbon leaves off, and that's at 0.3% up to 0.45%. Now, in the range of our medium carbon steels, when we exceed 0.35% carbon, the metal then becomes difficult to weld. So that has to be a consideration for construction projects involving, of course, welding. Next are our high carbon steels, and these are going to be between 0.45 and 0.75%. Now, as soon as you see those ranges going from 0.05 up to 0.75, you then naturally ask the question, well, I thought steels could be as high as 2%. And the answer is that's true. And you can get other varieties that are called typically very high carbon or ultra high carbon steel. We tend not to see those too much in mainstream use, but again, they're going to have a place somewhere depending upon the application. The percentages that we need to know, though, are just for the low, medium, and high carbon steels. Okay, so what are our general characteristics then of plain carbon steel? So first of all, our low carbon steel, or our mild steel, is tough. It's ductile, it's easily formed into a shape by either cold rolling or hot rolling, and it's also easily machined and welded. So low carbon steel, or mild steel, tends to be the one that we see more commonly in use. The next one is medium carbon steel. Now this one, of course, is going to be stronger and harder, but it becomes more difficult to weld once we go past 0.35%. Then for the last one here, the high carbon steels, very strong, very hard. They respond well to heat treatment, both pre and post. They can be readily machined. They're difficult to weld because of the high carbon content. And again, they do necessitate pre and post weld treatment to relieve stresses to stop cracking in applications like welding and things of that nature. So they do become a little bit more difficult to use and apply. Now, we can summarize this up really as a little sort of summary slide as steel versus iron with a few questions. First of all, what is the difference between iron and steel? Well, first of all, you can alloy steel with almost anything. Iron, not so much. Yes, we see cast iron using things like an alloy of magnesium to create something like ductile or nodular cast iron, but generally we don't see it used with anything else. Steel, of course, can be alloyed with almost anything. Now, the big difference, of course, between the two is simply the carbon content. For iron, we're talking a carbon content greater than 2%. For steel, we're talking about a carbon content less than 2%, but typically it's even less than 1%. Now, why is steel better than iron? Well, first of all, it's going to be tougher, less brittle, and by having the ability to alloy the steel, we can have it suitable for almost any use you can tend to think of. Now, why would we add carbon to the steel? Well, if we add carbon to it, it will become stronger and harder. Now, when we increase the carbon content, what are the effects of increasing that carbon content in an undesirable way? Well, if we increase the carbon content, increasing in hardness and strength, unfortunately, we also have an increase in brittleness. So the harder it is, the more brittle it will be. And also, the more weak it will become in tensile loading because of the higher carbon content. Now, for all the metals that we see around the planet, steels and steel alloys are by far the most common that we use. And in boiler construction, everything is going to be steel. What kind of steel? Well, we'll talk about that in the next objective because we commonly use steel alloys and we pick our alloys based on what temperature, pressure, and service rating that we're looking for. So that really is all there is to Objective 4. Memorizing our percentages of low, medium and high carbon steels and knowing the difference between iron and steel. That's really it. That's a complete repeat of the work you did in 4th class. So give that a quick review. See if you can remember it. Again, play the flashcard game if necessary. And then when you're ready, come back and we'll get stuck into talking about steel alloys in Objective 5. So, see you back soon.